We are live. We are live. We are live. All right. Good evening to everyone. Super excited to be here again. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Anytime I come here, there is something I do say. I do not take your time for granted. I do not take your time for granted. I know what it takes to abandon whatever it is you are doing to be here with me tonight. And I'm here again is yours truly, DAINI David. And tonight we are going to be dealing um, with a very simple subject, but yet intriguing, right? And I'm not here alone tonight. I have my amazing guest is backstage at the moment. He's actually streaming live actually. So my guest is backstage, and we are here tonight to just explore, right? To talk about the subject without fear. And I remember when there was time I was handling a session, and I basically spoke about my passion for leadership. And I said the reason why I am into leadership is not just because of the passion, it is actually the interest, right? It is not just the passion that drives what I do, it is actually the interest that drives my passion for what I do, right? And I do majorly with leadership. So tonight we're going to be dealing with without fear, without fear. And I have my guest on board with me tonight. His name is Mr. Ademola Raymond. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining us tonight, sir.
My
Super
pleasure.
excited to have you. Yeah, super
Ladies
excited
and
to have
gentlemen,
you, sir.
I'm glad to be here with you, everyone.
Okay, so my amazing viewers, if you are streaming live from Facebook and you're streaming live from YouTube, I need you to do me a favor, especially those who are streaming live on YouTube. Please help me subscribe to the YouTube channel, invite a friend to be here, and also share the link with a friend, with a family member, with your colleague. Let me share the link, invite a person, right? Subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow the page. Follow my page as well on Facebook. All right, we drop premium content every single day. We drop premium content, premium content. So, what are we looking at tonight? Let's just dive into what we have tonight. All right, so don't be here alone. Invite a person to be here. Invite a person to be here. So, let's dive into what we have tonight. We are discussing a subject without fear, without fear. I know you want to lead as a leader, right? Basically, the purpose for every leader is to lead, right? The purpose of every leader is to lead, right? And understand that there are patterns you must deal with if you want to lead a generation. There are certain patterns you must be able to deal with if you want to lead a generation. So the question you're asking me tonight is this, right? Dave, what are these patterns? What are these patterns made of? Right? What are these patterns? I need to know the patterns I need to deal with in order for me to be able to lead a generation, in order for me to be able to lead, to lead the people, in order for me to be able to lead the people. So, what are these patterns basically? So the patterns are what we're going to be looking at tonight. I'm just going to talk about the patterns, why they fear, and my guests will pick up from there. All right. Now, the first thing you must deal with, or the first pattern you need to pay attention to, or the reason why you couldn't lead a generation effectively, is actually because of fear. So my first point tonight is deal with your fears. Deal with your fear of feeling inadequate, your fear of failure, your fear of fear. I mean, there is something I call the fear of fear. That is the fear of the unknown, right? Fear of disappointment, your fear of shame. Your fear of shame is a pattern you must break if you want to lead a generation effectively. Is a pattern you must break if you want to lead a generation effectively. Let me read the book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 9. It says, have I not commanded you? That's a question. Have I not commanded you? Now, this is God speaking to Joshua. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. God is assuring Joshua. Now, this was actually when Joshua wanted to lead the Israelites. And when it comes to leading a generation, you need to be prepared for it. When it comes to leading a generation, you must be aware as to why you are leading the people. When it comes to leading a generation, you must be strategic about leading people, right? God said, do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. So as a leader, one of the pattern you must deal with when it comes to leading a generation is the pattern of fear. There is no way you're actually going to accomplish much as a leader if you always lead people by fear. In one of my previous sessions, I spoke about fear. I said, as a leader, when it comes to modeling young people, we don't lead or model young people based on fear. We lead people based on faith. We model young ones based on faith and not based on fear. And as a leader, you don't live by fear. You live by faith. You don't lead by fear. You don't live by fear. You lead by faith and you live by faith. You lead by faith and you live by faith. So God said, have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. So as a leader, you must be strong and courageous. This is not something you can develop on your own without a specific instruction. So every single leader, if you want to lead a generation, must, your passion for leadership, right? He says, I sought the Lord, and he answered me. He delivered me from all my fears. I sought the Lord, and he answered me. He delivered me from all my fears. Those who look to him are radiant. Those who look up to God are radiant. Their faces are never covered with shame. Understand I spoke about, when it comes to dealing with fear, your fear of the unknown, the fear of fear, which of course is the fear of the unknown, and also the fear of disappointment, the fear of shame. If you start this, what are people actually going to say about it? That is none of your business. As long as you receive the instruction clearly from God, go ahead and hit the nail on the head. Just keep moving. Just keep moving. If you want to lead a generation, you must first break the yoke of fear. Break the yoke of fear. Break the yoke of fear. So when it comes to conquering fear, what are the things you must consider? What do you need to do in order for you to conquer fear? Number one, confession through faith is one way for you to conquer fear. Confession through faith is one way for you to conquer fear. Number two, by identifying your problems. You must identify your problems if you want to conquer your fear of leadership. You must identify your problems if you want to conquer your fear of leadership. Number three, competence over competition. As a leader, we do not compete. As a leader, we do not compete, right? We act with divine instruction. We do not compete with people, we compete with ourselves. We compete with ourselves. So what I'm trying to say is basically is this, yeah? I compete with me. I just want to be better than my yesterday. That's the mindset of a leader. When you see your guy doing well, you celebrate them. When you see your guy doing well, you collaborate, you partner with them. That's the vision a leader should have, right? Confession through faith, number one. Number two, by identifying your problems. You must be able to identify your problems as a leader. Identify your problems. Understand the reason why you are not able to lead people. Understand the reason why you at times you don't even know where the fear is coming from in the first place. You don't know where the fear is coming from. That's what they call the fear of the unknown. You have no idea where the fear is coming from. So identify your problems, competence over competition. All right. The next point is simplicity over perfection. Be simple when it comes to leading a generation. You've got to be simple. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't be hard on people. Don't say because you want to create a standard, then you must be hard on your people. There's no need for that. Simplicity over perfection. Be simple. Be simple. I was live here yesterday and I said, I think I'm this kind of person that prefer excellence over perfection. Excellence over perfection, right? So simplicity over perfection is another thing you must look at when it comes to breaking the yoke of fear. The next point says authenticity over impression. Authenticity over impression. You must be authentic as a leader when it comes to leading a generation. You must be authentic with your vision. You must be authentic of your calling. You must understand the reason why you are leading your people. That is where you birth true originality. All right? Because understand that authenticity is originality. You must lead or function within the frame of your design as a leader. Lead and function within the frame of your design as a leader. All right. Now, the second thing you must pay attention to is don't compromise your faith and your belief as a leader. There is no need for you to compromise your faith and your belief as a leader. Now, let me read the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 10. It says, whatever your hand finds to do it with all your might, right? For in the realm of the dead, where you are going, there is neither walking, nor planning, nor knowledge, nor wisdom. It says, whatever your hand finds to do it with all your might. For in the realm of the dead, where you are going, in the realm of the dead, where you are going, there is neither walking nor planning, nor knowledge nor wisdom. So anything you find your hands do it well. Don't compromise your faith. If the vision is solid enough, if the vision is standard for you, work on the vision. All right. Do not compromise your faith. Do not compromise your faith. Now I'm going to be reading the book of Romans chapter 14, verse 19 to 23. It's going to take me a little bit of time, but I'm just going to brush that quickly. It says, verse 19, let us therefore make every effort to do what leads to peace and to mutual edification. Verse 20, do not destroy the work of God for the sake of food. Do not destroy the work of God for the sake of food. All food is clean, but it is wrong for a person to eat anything that causes someone else to stumble. Right? Verse 21. It says, it is better not to eat meat or drink wine or to do anything else that will cause your brother or sister to fall. Now we're talking about not compromising your faith when it comes to leadership. You don't have to compromise your faith. You don't have to say because opportunities are opening onto you, then you have to jump at every opportunities. No, not every opportunity that comes your way you must get into. You must be discerning enough to be sure if this opportunity is coming from God or not. Because as a leader, you don't have to compromise your faith to lead people. You don't have to deny your faith just because you want to impress people. So verse 22 says, so whatever you believe about, now this is my point now. Verse 22, so whatever you believe about these things, keep between yourself and God. Let your faith be between you and God. Let your belief be between you and God. Let your conviction be between you and God. You know, there are sometimes you explain your vision to people and they don't understand the vision. They have no idea of what this idea is all about. They can't even pick a sense of what the vision is all about in the first place. So let your faith be between you and God. Let your faith be between you and God. He said, blessed is the one who does not condemn himself by what he approves. Blessed is the one who does not condemn himself by what he approves. Verse 23, it says, but whatsoever, it says, but whoever has doubt is condemned if they eat, because their eating is not from faith. And everything that does not come from faith is sin. So if you are leading people in the absence of faith, it's a sin. You can't lead your people in the absence of faith. There is no way you're going to lead a generation in the absence of faith. Understand you are leading a generation, not a person. Even to lead a person requires faith. You need faith, solid faith to lead a person. Talk more of a generation. So do not compromise your faith as a leader. Do not compromise your belief as a leader. Don't say because you want to impress people, then you have to do it anyhow. No, don't do it anyhow. Be specific about the calling. Be specific about the vision. Be specific about the assignment God has placed in your heart. Be specific. All right. The next point I'm going to be sharing with us is the fear of God without compassion. The fear of God without compassion. How do you say you are leading people? You claim to love God, but you lack compassion. It's impossible. You can't tell me you love God, yet you lack compassion. How exactly do you want to claim your faith? Right? So, the fear of God without compassion. You must serve people, right? Understand that the purpose of a leader is to serve. The purpose of a leader is to lead people, right? However, that leadership there is talking about servanthood. Whoever must be great among you must be your servant. Whoever must be great among you, or whoever wants to be great among you, must be your servant. So, as a leader, you are servant to others. You are serving people. So, leadership is servanthood. Now, here's something I do say. Anytime I have sessions like these, and I'm talking about leadership, I tell my people, I said, leadership is about bleeding. Leadership is about bleeding. You must bleed in order for you to lead people. That bleeding comes with a sense of transformation. That bleeding comes with a sense of change. That bleeding comes with a sense of uniqueness. You must bleed in order for you to lead people. And there is no way you're going to transform a generation without having been transformed. Your mind must be transformed as a leader in order for you to transform people. Your heart must be transformed as a leader in order for you to transform people. The Bible talks about, do not be conformed to the pattern. Do not be conformed. Do not be conformed to the way the world thinks. Do not be conformed to the actions, the patterns of the world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. So, how do you renew the mind? You renew the mind by constantly walking in God's alignment. How do you walk in God's alignment? God speaks through His word. You read His word daily. You digest the word of God daily. See, to be honest with you, I cannot talk about leadership by putting God aside. There is no way you're going to do leadership by putting God somewhere. You can't abandon God in your journey of leadership. God has to be involved because God Himself is the brainiac behind leadership. God Himself is the brainiac behind leadership. If you look at the story of Jesus, you see the way He led His people. He led His people with a divine conviction. How am I going to do this tonight without a strong conviction at heart? I'm doing this tonight because I'm convinced about it. I'm here tonight because I'm convinced about the vision, I'm convinced about the purpose, I'm convinced about the calling. I shared my story yesterday. In my 100 level in school, I had this strong passion for leadership. I remember that any content I share online is all about leadership. I talk about leadership. If I'm addressing people, I talk about leadership. I speak about leadership. And at some point, God expanded the vision. You must go beyond this. You must go beyond this. So you lead people with divine conviction. Leadership comes with a divine instruction. Leadership comes with a divine instruction. So leadership is not just something you pick and you say, okay, you want to start leading people. You must hear what God is saying. Because those who are led by the Spirit of God are the children of God. And also it says in verse 16, Romans 8:16, that the Spirit of God beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. Right? So you must lead people with a divine instruction. Understand that without a divine instruction, there's no way you're going to lead people. Let me prove this to you. When Moses was leading the people of Israel, God gave him a divine instruction. Do this, do that. Go this way, don't go here. Right? Come back, don't move. So there was instruction every single time. So Moses was not leading the people based on what he knows. Even before he addressed the people, he ran to God first. So you cannot do leadership, my dear friends, in the absence of God. God must be in the picture of your journey of leadership. God has to be in the picture. The Spirit of God must be present with you. Because if care is not taken, you're going to lead people based on the flesh. You that's just it, right? Understand that I was having a conversation with one of my team today. And we're talking about the fruit of the Spirit. We spoke about the fruit of the Spirit. The fruit of the Spirit is the likeness of God. When God says, "Let us make man in my image and in my likeness," the fruit of the Spirit are the likeness of God. That is who God wants us to be: a person of joy, a person of peace, perseverance, a person who endures. The fruit of the Spirit is the likeness of God, right? So you cannot do leadership without a divine instruction. The instruction has to be very, very specific. And because the instruction is so specific to you, you find it so easy to instruct your people. You find it so easy to talk to your people. You find it so easy to lead your people. Look at the story of Moses. Look at the story of Noah. These guys did not lead the people because of what they know. They led the people based on a divine instruction from God. God had to instruct Abraham to leave his father's house and go to a land he's going to show him based on instruction. And today you cannot share the scripture with people without mentioning Abraham in the Bible. You cannot lead people in the absence of God's Spirit. It has to be based on the instruction of the Spirit of God. Whatever you do as a leader, understand you are not on your own. Whatever you do as a leader, understand you are not leading based on your knowledge. You must lead based on a strong conviction at heart. That's why tonight we are talking about leading a generation. Leading a generation. Leading a generation. What does it mean? Or what does it take to lead a generation? When people call you a leader, when they say, "Oh, my leader, my leader," in your head you're like, "Oh, you are big somewhere." No, you are not big anywhere. You are a servant. You are a servant. You are not big anywhere. My leader, my boss. No. The person hailing you is meant to be served. You have to serve him. What did Jesus came to the world to do? He served us. Moses was serving the people, or he served the people. Joshua served the people. Joshua served the people. Joseph served the people. So as a leader, you don't sit in a corner and saying you want to shrink your destiny. No, you have the call of God upon your life. And one way for you to increase capacity, or one way for you to increase your potential, is by walking in divine alignment, walking in where God has positioned you to walk. I can't do Raymond's calling, and Raymond cannot do my calling. He's been called for something specific. I've been called for something specific. So if I abandon my duty and I'm doing what Raymond is supposed to do, all I'm creating is chaos. God won't be pleased with me because I abandoned my own assignment. So leadership is a call to duty. Leadership is a call to duty. You are called to be responsible for people. You are not called to enjoy the title, to sit in a place and say, "Oh, yes, I'm a leader now, I'm cool." No, you are not cool. You can never be cool. Because why? You have burden upon you. Your shoulder gets heavier every single day. The more you grow as a leader, understand this. I'm going to say this twice. Understand this. The more you grow as a leader, the more problems you are likely to deal with. The more you grow as a leader, the more problems you are likely to deal with. So the problems are not stopping anytime soon. There is more solution to be displayed. The problems are not stopping anytime soon. The more you grow as a leader, the more people need your service. Am I speaking to someone here tonight? The more you grow as a leader, the more your service is needed, the more people demand your service. Because it takes a transformed mind to lead a generation. My God. It takes a transformed mind to lead a generation. It takes a transformed heart to lead a nation. Politics is a byproduct. I don't want to go there tonight. But hey, politics can be bought. That's not leadership. You can't buy leadership. How is politics a byproduct? You buy your way into it. You buy your way in. So let's not go there tonight, right? But politics is a byproduct. That's not leadership. Leadership is a call to duty. You are responsible for someone. Even in your family, you are responsible for them. Leadership is a call to duty. The next point I need you to pay attention to is passion without interest. Passion without interest. You can't say you have passion, you have passion, you have passion. What fuels your passion is your interest. What fuels your passion is your interest. If the reason why you do what you do every day is because of the passion you have towards it, it won't last the test of time. You need interest. Interest, you see, when I talk about interest, I'm talking about your genuine, your 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 genuine service towards what you do. Interest is your genuine service towards the things you do. Like if others are quitting, you are not quitting. Others may be running based on passion, but you are running based on interest. You are running based on interest. So, passion without interest is another thing you need to look at if you want to lead a generation. I spoke about dealing with your fears, right? So, understand that passion is not enough, you need interest. Passion is not enough, you need interest. The next point I'm going to be explaining tonight is leadership without direction. Leadership without direction. How do you want to lead people without a specific direction in view? Understand that no focus without direction. The reason why you are focused is because you have a clear path. You know where you are headed. There is a view ahead of you. Let me share this story once again. I remember many years ago in Ukraine, a guy walked up to me and he asked me a specific question. He said, David, I've seen the way you dress. I've seen the way you talk to people. I've seen the way you address people, right? I've seen your consistency in church over time. Not just in church, even in school. People know you, but you are not aware. He said, are you planning to become a businessman or do you want to be a pastor in the future? I mean, why all this? And I said, you're right. I am responding to a picture ahead of me. So the reason why I do the things I do is because I'm responding to a picture ahead of me. So the question for you tonight is what picture are you responding to? The reason why you dress the way you dress is because of the picture. The picture is the vision. Understand I said there won't be focus without direction. The reason why you are focused is because you have a clear view of where you are headed. So the reason why I do what I do, the reason why I dress the way I dress, the reason why I appear online the way I appear is because I'm responding based on the picture ahead of me. The picture is the vision. The picture is the mandate. So dress as you want people to address you. Dress the way you want people to address you. What kind of picture have you seen? What has God shown you concerning your future? So respond based on that picture you see. Respond based on the picture you see. So leadership without direction. There won't be leadership without direction. You need direction from God to lead a nation, a generation effectively. You need direction from God to lead a generation effectively. So leadership without direction is another point you need to pay attention to tonight. If you want to lead a generation effectively, understand that you can't lead them effectively. You cannot lead them to their promised land if you lack specific direction. You just be moving zigzag, you know. no clear view. You're not sure as to where you are leading them. And the leader must be clear as to where he's leading his people. You must be clear. So that's the reason why nations are falling. Now, this brings us to the main topic we're going to be discussing about tonight. Is the reason why nations are failing. Some nations are failing because of lack of systemic leadership. Some nations aren't doing well because the leaders failed to be failed to lead the people based on the instruction of the spirit. It's the reason why nations are failing. So when it comes to leading a generation, understand you cannot lead a generation effectively in the absence of a divine direction. In the next 20 years, I want my nation to look like this. Look at Dubai. They had a strong vision. They responded based on a divine direction, based on divine instruction. This guy called themselves together. Hey, how do we transform our nation? For you to talk about transformation is a sign that your heart has been transformed. Look at the nation in Dubai. Look at Dubai as a nation, sorry. For their leaders to talk about transformation is a sign that their heart has been transformed. Because the Bible says, out of the heart, it says, from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So you speak what your heart is full of. If your heart is full of jealousy, you lead people based on jealousy. If your heart is full of envy, you lead them based on envy. If your heart is full of pain, you will break people. So, because their heart is full of the word transformation, their mind has been renewed, they were able to transform a nation. It's a change of the mind. It's the change of the mind. So, if the mind is not changed, your nation will not be transformed. The last point I'm going to be leaving us with tonight is leading without instruction. I've spoken about that. Leading without instruction. You need specific instruction to lead people. You need instructions from God. You need instruction from the Spirit of God. You need instruction from your mentors. It's the reason why you have mentors around you. It's the reason why you have leaders around you. Why do you have them around you? So to seek counsel. So to seek counsel. Because if you start leading people based on the leading of the flesh, you will lead them based on pride. You will even preach pride to your people. You will preach anger to your people. So, thank you so much for staying through. And I'm going to be yielding the mic to my guest now, which is Mr. ADEMOLA Raymond. He's going to kickstart from here. Please don't forget, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow my page on Facebook, and again, share the link with a friend. You can't be the only person here tonight digesting and listening to all these messages, right? So I yield the mic to Raymond now. I almost mentioned my name again. My God, that's powerful. I yield the mic to Raymond. All right. Thank you so much for coming here. Okay, give me a sec, please. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I've got it. Got it. I've got it. All right. Okay.
Right. Wow, wow, wow. This is a great privilege, and the first session was great. Indeed, I learned a lot, and there's no way you there's no way you will listen to people like this and you will not get something to learn, not get something to take. There's no way you will listen to them and you will not have something tangible take as a takeaway. Thank you, my brother, Mr. DAINI David. Thank you for the powerful session. Thank you for the powerful session. Indeed, leadership, just as you said, leadership is a responsibility on everyone. Not necessarily when you get to the politics level, when you mount the pulpit and all those things. Leadership starts from you, right? Leader. And thank you very much for that wonderful session. I'm happy to be here tonight. I'm happy to be here tonight. It's such a great privilege. um, being here, talking to the people, telling them my mind, explaining to them. And this is one of the best way we can go in this our generation. You know, there is something that flies around that. There's no secrecy in learning. There's no secret in learning. We what I know, I bring it to the table, I share it with my people. When we learn together, we grow together. So tonight we are continuing with the topic subject matter without fear. And my brother has he has dissected leadership. He has dissected leadership. You know, I believe potential leaders, those who are aspiring leadership, top leadership position must have gotten a lot of super pack from what he has dished for us tonight. Thank you very much once again. So the goal of leadership in a growing economy. Now tonight I want you to pay attention. What I'll be doing is I'm channeling this with entrepreneurship. We're trying to bring a linkage and an intersect between fear, leadership, and entrepreneurship. That's one of the things I'm going to be doing tonight. I want to bring an intersect. I want to look at the correlation. Can we talk about leadership without talking on entrepreneurship? Can we discuss on fear without considering these two other factors? So we want to look at these three subject matters, look at how they relate together, and at the end, how they can help the economy, how they can help the nation. So permit me to be, it will not be taking much of your time. Just pay full attention. Ensure you pay attention. Personally, I don't waste my time. So whatever we do that will look like a waste, I would rather not do it. So since you are joining, then it will be pay attention, key to everything we say here. Many a times, most of the things we hear might not be useful immediately to us. Come 10 years time, you start flashing back. I heard this thing, and there's something about the mind. Once you pay attention to something, once you open to some things, you will never forget. You will never forget. Psychology has proven it that whatever you see, whatever you hear, there's a tendency you don't forget. All right. This journey naturally intersects with the dynamic realm of entrepreneurship, just as I said. And tonight I'm going to be talking on some points, talk on leadership, we talk on fear. Fear is a strong. I fear is a. I dealt with. I dealt with fear for a very long time. Not personally. I was There was a time in my life I was passionate about talking on fear, because I noticed that a lot of people they are falling into the pit of fear. So I was so compassionate about it, and I started teaching people fear, how to overcome fear. Fear is not about shivering. Fear is not about saying something and start crying or all those things. That is not fear. Fear is one of the weapons devil use, not on youth alone, not on babies, not on human being. Fear is one of the tools the devil used to bring human down. Once the devil launches fear at all times, the moment the fear captures you, it will hold you down. So I like to tell people, do not allow fear. Do not allow fear. The Bible, there is a model that we have. We have a model, which is the Holy Bible. There's a model that we have, and this model has given us a way to conquer fear. And that way to conquer fear is peace of mind. So there's no way you can be a true leader when you accommodate fear. There's no way you can become a successful entrepreneur when you allow fear. The moment you allow fear, anything you do will crumble. That is, give it a test of time, it will crumble. Because fear is not, fear is spiritual. It is a weapon that the devil himself configured. He has configured it in such a way that the moment you allow it in your life, in your mind. My brother was saying something the other time, and he was saying you have to renew your mind. By the time you start, when you are in the process of renewing your mind, fear will not have a place to stay. And I was saying one of the ways you can renew your mind is by studying this our model, the Bible. So once you have a place in your heart where the Bible can stay, where you have a constant fellowship with the word, fear cannot stay. So the role of youth in an economy cannot be sidelined. Who becomes youth? Who becomes leaders? The youth become leaders. There's a saying that have been on existence before they give birth to me, that youth are the leaders of tomorrow. Many a times, many, most especially when you find yourself in some parts of this world, in some countries, it might want to be like this saying or this adage doesn't look true in quotes. But the truth of the matter is that youths are leaders of tomorrow. So the place of youth cannot be sidelined. We cannot discuss leadership and leave youth. So tonight we'll be talking on youth as a subject matter. We'll be talking on leadership. He has talked about leadership. Everything you need to know about leadership. Is a leadership coach. He's a leadership coach, and this is one of the ministry God has called him into. It's one of the ministry God has called him into, and he's helping lives. He has been my brother for a very long time, more than more than it's been a while. We've been together for a very long time. We grew together, and here we are, and I believe we are still going places together. That is my belief. So a leadership, or let me say a leader or leadership, this is the art of guiding a generation towards a vision. In addition to what he said the other time, my emphasis is on the vision. You cannot be driving people, or you cannot be driving a thing without a vision, without a direction, without an end point. I like to be practical. You cannot say when you probably you handle the steering of a vehicle, definitely you are heading somewhere. But probably you have some people, you have some persons in the car, in the vehicle. Then you are the leader of the vehicle, you are the driver. Definitely there is an end point, there is a direction, there is somewhere you are going. That is the vision there. You can't just handle the steering, ignite the car, and start moving in a circle. No. So that is where leadership starts. At that point, a lot of people are entrusting their journey in your hand. Now, the God factor is there, but humanly speaking, those people have entrusted their journey in your hands. They expect you to take them to this direction. They expect you to take them to this destination. So you are a leader. Everyone is a leader. Leadership is in different spheres. When you find yourself in the classroom, you have some set of leadership, the class captain, and all those things. When you find yourself in any aspect of life, administration, academics, ministry, any aspect of life, there must be set of leadership. These are the people that control the administrative part of that organization or wherever you find yourself. So the leaders, they play a significant role towards an economy, towards a nation. And you know the impact of leadership cannot be we have to discuss on the impact of leadership in a nation, in an economy. Now, I would have loved to use a part of the country as a case study, or any part of the country you find yourself. I believe probably if it is a democratic system of government that is being run there. Now, everyone have they have this obligation to select who leads them, because a leader, in as much you are under the leadership of this set of people or this person, whatever decision that person makes, directly or indirectly, will affect you. So leadership it has a significant impact on your life, directly or indirectly. If you count your vote for a bad person, when it gets there, bad policy will be put in place and it will affect you. So the leadership of a nation have great impact on the citizens, and the citizens are you and I. So wherever you find yourself, there's there was a time, and this thing was trending. The saying was that it doesn't matter who leads you. What is most important is um what you find yourself doing and all those things. Even as an entrepreneur, when bad people mount the leadership position, they bring out policies that might not favor you. Then you start paying excessive taxes. You start, inflations and all these things. They tend to be like hardship for the people. So what I'm trying to say is that the leadership of a place, the leadership of a nation, have great impact in the life of the citizens. So be careful when you are selecting a leader. Be careful, because directly or indirectly, these people have great impact in your destiny, not even in the life of a citizen, in the destiny of a citizen. You have to live without fear as an entrepreneur. You know, when we are looking at leadership and entrepreneur fear, it has been proven that nations that succeed mostly, they don't joke with entrepreneurship. They don't joke with entrepreneurship. They have this stable and consistent.
So I think we lost Raymond right there. We lost Raymond. We've lost Raymond. I hope he's back anytime soon. I hope he's back anytime soon. I hope he's back anytime soon. I hope you are writing something down. I hope you are jotting down something. I hope you are jotting down something. Please do me a favor. Do me a favor. This is also one way you can encourage me as a leader. All right. Share the link with a friend. Invite a person to join me and come and see what is happening here tonight. All right. Give me a sec. Let me bring Raymond back. Let me bring Raymond back. Give me a sec. We will be right back shortly. All right. All right, you good to go now,
So
sir?
sorry for the break in transmission.
Let's go.
So what I'm trying to say is that some nations are exceedingly, they are flying, they are above, and while some nations in the world, even we can relate with some nations, we can imagine, we can understand what I'm trying to say. There's a default there, and this default is that some procedures, some principles have been neglected. So when it comes to leadership, when it comes to being a successful entrepreneur, you have to follow teamwork. To work with team. You can, yes, you might be the vision bearer, you might be the one that have the idea, but you cannot accomplish everything on your own. You have to work with a team. You have to have a solid team whereby you have people that you delegate tasks to. You have people that you delegate duties to. You have people that you can call on these things. These people are responsible for some certain activities and some certain tasks. So as a team, as a leader, you have to work with team. You have to have a team members. You can't do it alone. You can start alone. When you start things, especially when you start with passion, just like my brother said the other time, I so much love that passion. Especially when you start with passion, there's high tendency that your morale is high. You tend to start, even when they are not in place, you do everything on your own. But give it a test of time. In a moment, you start getting tired. Why? Because you are human. You are human. I think I'm off air now, saying that the network is something.
You're on, sir. You're here. We can hear you.
All right. Can you hear? Am I on air now?
Yeah, yeah, you're home. We can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you, Raymond. Okay, Raymond is out again. We have to wait. We have to wait. Raymond is on fire. Raymond is on fire. He's back now.
All right. Sorry, I don't know. Unfortunately, we find ourselves in some part of the world where we have to struggle with internet. Even if you have there's no reliable internet. Even if you find yourself, if you can afford the best, there will still be some flaw. So pardon me, please. All right. So as a leader, as an entrepreneur, I've established the fact that you cannot do without team. Don't kill yourself. You are human. If you start high, if your morale is high on start, it will get to a time that the responsibilities will start getting choking. So at that time, if you don't have a solid teamwork, there's a tendency that you crumble. So don't joke with team. Have a team. It's not about numbers. You can work with a team of three. You can work even with a team of two. It depends on the vision. It depends on the landscape. It depends on the horizon of your vision, of your idea. So it's not about number. You'll be the one. Even when you want to enter into leadership, you have to have something like a feasibility study. Even if it is in business, you have a feasibility study. You have a plan. This is where you know the number of team that you need to start. You know the number of members you need to start. You know what is needed before. So this is where you have to plan. That is why planning is very important. Planning is very important in anything you do. So one thing, another principle is that you must be willing to be innovative. As a leader, as a business person, you must be willing to be innovative. The willingness to innovate. My God, I think the network is all right. Okay, I think I'm back here now. The willingness to accept innovation. This is one of the things that will make you thrive. This is one of the things that is making some other part of the world, some nations, they are thriving. This is one of the secrets. This is one of, in everything, there's a secret. There will always be a secret in everything you do, be it anything. There will always be a secret that you only know how to apply this thing most. That is why it is called a secret. You know it more than others. This is the edge. This is the edge you have over others. That is why it is called secret. So you must be ready to embrace innovation. Don't be outdated. As a leader, don't be outdated in knowledge. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is key. So do not be outdated in knowledge. As a business person, do not be outdated. Follow the trend. Once you know that this is the you have to be updated. This is what is this it depends on what the service you are rendering, or the services you are rendering, or the goods and services you are interchanging. So follow the trend, know what is on point. Don't have what has been neglected. Don't make it be your own champion. Same as leadership. Know what is going on. It is not, don't work with the same cabinet that has been in existence 100 years ago, 50 years ago, 20 years ago. This cabinet, yes, in their own time they did well. Once this is your own time, look for a way to accept innovation, newness, bring something new into it. Yes, most times when you are being innovative,
Raymond is out again. Raymond is out again. Okay, 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 okay. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. Okay, we are in now. Are you there, Mr. Raymond? Are you in? Mr. Raymond, are you there? Are you in, sir? I think we're having network breakdown tonight. So, my amazing viewers, let me share the link. Invite a friend to stream live with you. All right. Follow my page on Facebook. All right. Subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. At the moment, we are live both on YouTube and on Facebook. We are live on both applications. All right. So follow me on Facebook, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also share the link with a friend so they won't miss out on this as well. All right, sir, over to you.
all right, sorry for the break. Sorry. I hope you understand what is going on. Sorry. Sincerely, I present to you my apology. So, and one, sorry, let me continue from where I stopped. One of the ways you can, when it comes to innovation, challenges will come. Challenges will come, especially once you are coming with something new, a new concept, a new idea, a new pattern. As a leader, you are coming with a new pattern. Probably in the previous leadership, depending on the leadership you are keen into, definitely there's going to be probably a predecessor or previous set of leadership. You've seen what they didn't do well. Now you are trying to implement this. You are trying to balance these things. Challenges will come. It is because this is an innovation. It's something new. But the ability for you to stay tuned, remain focused, that is when you can overcome. Life is all about ups and downs. The moment you don't give up, you tend to move forward. Once you give up, you remain stagnant, or you get declined. So once challenges come as a leader, Don't give up. Yes, they are meant to happen. Most times when challenges come most times because you are doing it right. Challenges come most times because you are doing it right. In the world we are not, the devil is himself is not resting. When he sees you are the edge of breaking something, you are the breaking point, you are the edge of breaking point, then he will start raging war. The Bible says we war not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against power.
I'm
We wrestle not
sorry,
against
I'm sorry
against
to cut in there. I'm sorry to cut in there, sir. You know, before you quoted the scripture, I was actually writing the scripture down. So the Spirit of God is one. Go on.
one. Yes, yes, yes. So we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against power, against the rulers of darkness of this world. Those are the people that are in charge of this world. So we are not raging war. They can't be standing. They see themselves as the leaders of this world. So once you start doing things that contradict their own way, they will rise up and they want to fight with you. So most times when you face challenges, it is because you are doing it right. So the moment you quit, then you are a loser. But once you see challenges, you embrace challenges and you overcome challenges, then you are a winner. Most times it takes time, but perseverance is very important. As a leader, as a business person, perseverance is very important. Let me move on. We are considering time. Let me move on to the next thing I have here. I wrote something down today, and let me just give it to. I said entrepreneurship epitomize the fearless leaders of our time. Entrepreneurship epitomize the fearless leaders of our time. I like to make research, and I was billionaires of the world, looking at um looking at people that have influence in the world. I mean positive influence. And I noticed this trend that many of them are successful businessmen. Many of them, not all of them, but many of them are successful businessmen. A lot of them got their money from different sources, but majority of them got their money through business legitimately. This is to prove what I said, that what fuels true leadership, entrepreneur. When a system come in place and they encourage entrepreneurs to, they mobilize them, fund them, and you see that this set of leadership, interest they have interest in people that are doing businesses, small scale business owners and all those things. If the system continues like that, that economy, that nation will rise. Why? Because they have invested in in the life of the entrepreneurs. So just as I said, as a business, do not forget, as a leader, as a business person, work as a team. When you have a system that is in place, that even while you are asleep, things will. I think I think the network is out again.
I think you are back in, sir. We can
All
hear you
right,
now.
I think I'm back now, right? So actually, I don't know where I stopped, but I'll just try to pick it up from somewhere. Now, let me give you something I call a chain. Let me give you something I call a chain. You might be familiar with it, with what I'm about to say. This might not be the first time you'll be hearing this, but if you apply it very well as a leader, wherever you find yourself, if you apply this key I want to give to you very well, you will see that it's working and it will work. Now, I call it a chain because it works like a chain. The first chain is identify. Identify. Now, when you All right. Think I'm back. Sorry for the break in transmission. Sorry. All right, let me be fast with this so we won't just be going on and off. Identification. Call it identify. Just call it anything. Call it ID. Call it anything you'll be familiar with so you will not forget. Now, the this is the first to anything you do. Before you can say you want to do something, be it business, be it you want to all right. All right, please pardon me. Pardon me, please. All right, so once you identify that there is something on ground, what is it that is on ground that is working well? Identify the things that are working well. Before you, this will be before or at the early stage when you just embark in probably a business or you just start your leadership, probably your leadership, whatever it might be. Once you identify the things that are already identify the things that are working well, identify the things that are not working well. That is the identification. Now, once you identify them, then define them. These things that are working well, what are they? These things that are not working well, what are they? Then the next thing is to do your analysis, analyze them. These things that are working well, how can we make them better? How can I make it better? Who are my competitors in this business space? What is it they are doing that I'm not doing? Or what is it they are doing that I see they are not doing right? What is it they are doing that I feel they are doing good that I can emulate? You're not in competition with them. Your emulation is allowed. You are emulate when you see something good, you emulate it. What are the things they are doing well that I can emulate? What are the things that they are not doing well that I
We are so sorry for the break in transmission, guys. We are so sorry. We're so sorry about that. Raymond is out again. We will be right back. We will be right back. Thanks for your patience. We will be right back. Okay.
sorry. I don't know where the break is coming from. I just checked my network signal and it's reading very well. It's reading very well. So all right, I think I stopped at define. After identifying what is working well, what is not working well, then you have to define it. What are these things that are working well? Not just identify. Identify is seeing them, then define them. Defining means you are elaborating these things. Elaborate, define what is working well, what is not working well. Then analyze, do your analysis. Run your analysis. How can I make this thing better? What are the plans to make it better? This thing that is in place, this structure that is in place that is good. how can it be or better? There is always be change is constant. There is always a room for betterment. How can I make it better? The things that are not working well, how can I make them better? How can I bridge the gap? That is the analysis. Then you prefer solution. As a business person, you prefer solution. That is where fear comes in. Many a times, before you prefer solution to things, it might demand financial implications, it might need some resources and some things. That is when fear starts coming in. You start asking yourself, am I sure I am up to this? Then the moment you start asking yourself those questions, you start getting timid. You start, you start seeing yourself as, am I taking the right step at all? That is where fear comes in. Many a times, fear does not come in at the planning stage. As a leader, you might have this vision, you might have this goal, you might have this idea. As a leader, the fear will not, the devil will not launch the fear at the early stage, because if you back out at the early stage, you are not on the losing end. If you back out at the early stage, you are not on the losing end. So he would wait for you at the accomplishment stage, where you have spent time, you have spent resources, you have planned strategically. Then when it now comes to accomplishment, that is when the devil will now come with his battalion forces. That is when he will start telling you, are you sure you can do this? Do you think you are capable enough? Have you forgotten the things you did in time past? When you try to do this, have you forgotten the people that stood up against you? As a leader, people will, especially when you are standing for the truth, people will talk. So the devil now start reminding you, have you forgotten when somebody rose up then and stood against your idea? Then when you are this person that have accommodated fear in your heart, you just, you're like, oh, does it worth it? You start getting timid. Please do not allow that. If you want to become a successful leader, if you want to become a true leader, there are many people that call themselves leaders. Just like my brother said the other time, a leader is a servant. It is like it is like something that is going, it goes up as the name comes. If you hear the name a leader, it looks high. But when you look at it critically, it is the other way around. You are a servant. So as a leader, you must be ready to serve. So whatever decision you make, the decision must boils down to you ready to serve your people totally. Submission. I used to tell my guys here, I tell my team member, because I run physical businesses, that you have to deal with people. You have to deal with people, and one of the most difficult resources to deal with are human resources. Because the reason being that human have different ideology, different understanding, different belief, different ethics, different religion. So what works well for Mr. A might not work well for Mr. B. And as a leader, you have to know how to bring a balance between these categories of people. That is why human resources are the most difficult resources to handle as a leader, as a business person, as human. That is why many people have issues with their friend, because they have not understood some things. So you have to be very, very careful when you are dealing with people. So when you are providing solution, that is when the fear now starts coming in. Can you satisfy these people? Have you forgotten how these people dealt with you in time past and all those things? So when you don't procrastinate, you key into your vision. You have your vision, you are the vision bearer. You key into your vision, you trust God ultimately. You trust God that this, when you have a true, when we have conscience. That is one of the reasons we have conscience. When you are doing something right, your conscience will tell you have something, you are doing something right. Most especially when you have the Spirit of God. Oh, I think I'm off air again. think I'm back here. Think I'm back here now. All right. Sorry, I think I stopped. That is why we have conscience, especially when you have the Holy Spirit. When you are doing something right, you know you are doing something right. So as a leader, once you know you are a leader, you have the Holy Spirit in you. When you are doing something right, when you are about to embark on a journey that involves people, you will know you are doing something right. So once your conscience is giving you a go ahead, then fear cannot hold you down. The devil cannot hold you down. Human cannot hold you down. So don't procrastinate. Don't lose your focus. Remember your vision. The Bible this. Oh, sorry. The Bible make mention of this, that write the vision, make it plain. That when you run, you'll be able to see this. So time is not on our side. Let me, this subject matter is not something we can finish on a goal. It is like a process. It is like a process. The little you hear today, keep it in your heart. The ones you hear tomorrow, keep them in your heart. And that by the time you hear a lot of things, they become compounded word in your heart. They become compounded word in your heart. Then actualizing them, walking in them will be easy. Let me conclude by saying this. I wrote it down here that successful nations are led by individuals who understand that clinging to the status quo is a disservice to progress. These leadership individuals, they foster education, they prioritize education. This is one of the ways you know a true leader. They prioritize knowledge. When they see that this is a platform, this is an avenue. Oh my.
Go on, please. Go on. Go on. I can hear you. Hey, Ray, are you there? Ray is out again. We have to come back again. Okay, it's back.
All right.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's back now. It's okay.
I'm really struggling with the network here, or the internet per se. All
It's
right.
fine.
So I stopped somewhere around this leadership. One of their attributes is that they prioritize knowledge. Once they see a platform where their people can learn, they foster it, they prioritize it, they invest in knowledge. These are the qualities of a true leader. Then I wrote it down here that they encourage critical thinking. At times the problem or the issue of a nation can be beyond the surface. It demands critical thinking. So a leader who give avenue for people to think critically. Human, the way God configures human, He gives us the ability to think. You can think beyond. You can think beyond the surface. You can think beyond what you. Oh, so sorry once again. I'm really struggling with the internet here. All right. As I conclude, I will conclude with one of the things I started with, just like a reminder. The destiny of individuals, the destiny of the citizens of a nation lies on the leadership, lies on the people that lead them. So I believe what I just said now, you now understand it better from what we have talked about this evening. So if you are dreaming, or if you want a better life, probably there are some things you want and you feel these are the things you cannot do individually. It lies in the hand of the government, the leadership. It might not even be in a country per se. It might be in a small organization. It might be in your, depends, your organization, wherever you find yourself. If there is something you desire, then invest in the leadership, be involved in the leadership. Yes, think that is the word, be involved in the leadership. Don't just be
Remote is out again. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. Remote is out again. So I think I'm just going to start from here. I actually was waiting for Remo to be done with his session before I even commence, right, with the things I have to pass across. I actually wanted him to land. I wanted him to land. I wanted him to land. All right, viewers. Thank you so much for staying this long. I mean, we're not done with the session yet. I am in hope that Raymond will join me shortly because there are some questions I want to ask him. These are questions I asked the leaders who have ever guest my sessions in the past, my events in the past, rather. So these are the questions I asked leaders, and I really want Raymond to give an answer to these questions I have in mind for him. Please don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, invite a friend, invite a loved one, right, to stream live with you. You can't just be here alone exploring all the content, digesting this amazing wisdom from Raymond tonight. All right. So please click on the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever we drop a video or whenever we go live like this. Okay. And subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me on Facebook. All right. Follow me on Facebook and do share. Do share. Do share. Do share. All right. So Raymond is back and let's see if he's going to round up now. You are in, so we can
all right.
hear you.
All right, thank you very much. I'm very sorry. I think I've said everything I need to. God wants us to talk about tonight. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the listening ears. Thank you for the patience. Thank you for the understanding. Thank you. All right. So, um, you are a leader. Let me Sorry, can you hear me? Oh, all right. So you are a leader. Let me just, that is what I will use to round up. You are a leader. Take responsibility. Thank you.
Interesting,
Thank you very much.
interesting. Thank you so much for honoring my invitation. And I like the way you ended the session tonight. You are a leader. You can't fight it, you can't beat it. You are a leader. You've been appointed, anointed, called by God to do something on earth. You can't just be on earth, exist without living, and you can't live here on earth without existing. So you have to combine both. You must be able to live and you must be able to exist. That's what you've been called to do. All right. So, Mr. Raymond, I am not really sure you are live right now with me because your network is off again. Your network is off again. Your network is off again. So, what am I going to do? What should we do? Okay, you're back. You're back. You're back.
Yes,
Do you hear me, sir?
yes, I can hear you very well.
All right. So there's this question I ask every single leader who come to my platform, right? I ask them one specific questions and not just one questions, I mean several other questions I do ask them. And I was saying when you were out the other time that I can't really wait to ask you these questions so you can give an answers to the questions I have in mind for you tonight. So the first question is this year. Let's just go straight to the questions and answers. The first question is this year. How do people get to reach you? How do they get to reach you? How do they get to connect with you? Raymond is out again. Raymond is out again. Raymond is out again. Thanks for joining, Korede Adesoya. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thanks for joining, ma'am. All right, Raymond. Yeah, the question is this here. How do people get to reach you?
All right. Um, as well as I am a business person, at the same time I'm somebody that is approachable. I I am this kind of person that deal with people. Every time I deal with people, I okay, I think I'm still on. Please, am I still on?
Yeah, you're on. Yeah. Raymond is out again. So I think this is what I'm going to do here. I think we have to do this on a private platform if the network is still going to be giving us issues tonight. Okay, but we can hear you now, sir. Go on.
All right. Just as I said, I'm this kind of person that's approachable. You can reach me. You can seek for my advice on business wise, especially business wise. I have hotline that you can access. Permit me to just share my telephone number and probably a link might be dropped. I don't know how. I believe DAINI David is going to do justice to that. He's going to share a link probably that leads to my WhatsApp DM. That's where I'm more active. I'm on other social media. If you really want to get my attention, you want me to give you a quick response, come to my WhatsApp. So let me just permit me to just call the number. I don't know where you are streaming from, but with the Nigeria, the 234 plus 234 8100 818081.
Please, can you repeat the number again? Can you repeat it, please?
Let me repeat it.
Yep. 80
234818081.
8081. Yeah. The network is really breaking tonight. Ooh, the network is really breaking tonight. All right, my amazing viewers, I'm just going to collect Raymond's number privately and share the link on my platform in case you want to reach out to him about anything concerning business. Is going to actually provide. Okay, you're back now, please. Can you repeat the number, please?
All right, a quick one. 0802348100881
Yep.
8081.
Okay, I got that. Okay. All right. Is that
All
correct,
right.
sir? Can you hear me? Okay, in order not to waste your time, I think we're just going to put an end to the session tonight. And please don't forget on Saturday, I will be live here again with another, no, on Sunday. On Sunday, I'll be live here again, live on Facebook and live on YouTube at the same time with another amazing guest. You know, she's going to be coming on board on Sunday to come share knowledge again with us. And she's going to be talking on or speaking on the subject self discovery. Self discovery. Don't forget, it's the DAINI David's Leadership Network. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And I can't wait to have you guys again and again and again. All right. Okay, so I think he's actually going to read a question and answer himself. Mr. Raymond, you have a question. Please, can we get your Instagram handle? Am I even sure if Raymond is on Instagram? Definitely he is.
Yes, I am on Instagram. But the issue is I'm not this social media person. I'm not this social media person. I have accounts with in almost all social medias that are common. But I think my social I think I'll just have to drop it.
Okay, please do that, please. Please do that, please do that. We're gonna wait for you to drop that. We're not leaving until we're done. All right.
Okay. I think
There you
I've gotten my Instagram handle.
Okay, can you post the link on the chat box here so I can post on the screen?
Right.
The network really dealt with us tonight. You know, have you posted it?
Yeah, I'm trying to do that now.
Okay, or you can just tell me your handle, then I will type
I've
it out.
sent okay, the I've sent it to you.
Okay,
I think the handle is Raymond underscore
underscore what?
A.
Okay, all right. So I think the network really gives us a lot of issues tonight, and there is no way we're gonna go ahead to hold the session again tonight. The questions I have in mind, I won't be able to ask them anymore. However, I might ask him privately. Then we're just gonna do maybe probably a 10-minute video together, and I'll post the video in the coming days. All right, Mr. Raymond, I think we actually going to put an end to the session now due to the network issue. I'm so sorry about that, sir. Um, yeah,
Tender my
it's fine, man. So thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate, and I hope we work together in the future. You know, like you said when you were giving your session, right? We grew up together. We attended the same school, right? Let me just open up. We attended the same school, junior secondary school to senior secondary school. And Raymond was an amazing student back then. You know, we're friends and we grew up together. And, please keep being amazing, keep inspiring your world, keep going global. People are yet to know you. I know they are knowing you already, but they are yet to see the real you. So whatever it is that God has dropped on the inside of you, it is time for you to unleash self. It is time for you to start, you know, dispensing those values and gifts on the inside of you. Thank you so much for, honoring my invitation. I really appreciate it. And thank you for not stressing me as well. The moment I told you, you said, Dave, let's go ahead and do this. I think at some point you motivated me, right? So thank you so much for your motivation, and thank you so much for your inspiration as well, right? Thank you, thank you, thank you. To my amazing viewers, we've come to the end of tonight's session. Thank you so much for your time, and I do wish you a wonderful night rest. Don't forget, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on Facebook, share the link, click on the notification bell, and do subscribe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm coming live again on Sunday with another amazing speaker. She's going to be talking about self discovery. Do you want to discover self? Meet us here on Sunday, 8 p.m. Nigerian time. Thank you, and do have a wonderful night rest. Peace.